back to the John Daigle Show. Again, I don't know what episode this is since we oddly started on a Thursday. I should probably get that number. Nonetheless, we are here, and this is a quick one today. We're in and out in about 10 minutes because it is Fantasy Football Expo weekend. I'm hoping to see a lot of you there, and I'm excited to go see some friends that I won't see for another 6 months because all personal lives have ended since football takes up all the time. But before I hit the road, quite literally, jump in my car, start driving to Canton, I wanted to make sure we were all set up together for tonight's DFS slate and what to look for. Because I think it is an exciting night of games, actually. Only 2, but I'm still really looking forward, in particular, to seeing CJ Stroud play. Because that first game between Houston and New England is a very interesting one. And I want to start there for building your DFS lineups this evening. Because, one, I don't know how much CJ Stroud will play. I would imagine it's not a half. It may be a quarter. But also, if we're using 4for4 tools, looking at historical bets and how these things shake out, I think CJ Stroud, and this is the first, as the great Matthew Wood, who joined me and Mike Leone in our Ragnar race that I've talked about, taking on over a marathon's worth of miles. The great Matthew Wood. Matthew Wood is here to talk about DFS. But what I think is going to happen tonight, just to set the stage, is that CJ Stroud will be one of, if not the highest rostered quarterback. And why I'm going to be overweight and play a lot tonight is because I think that's incorrect. I think due to, one, the weather in Foxborough, because it seems, at least right now, could change, of course, but at least right now, 67% chance of rain, and we're looking at wind from 7 to 12 miles per hour. That's one reason why I really think that CJ Stroud could easily fail. 2, as I mentioned, the 4for4 betting tools. And by the way, don't tell anyone this because it's just on YouTube, but the promo code, literally the code YouTube, will get you 25% off at 4for4. Not just ahead of your drafts if that's happening this weekend, but also getting you ready and through the season. Since the first waiver wire column, all our projections and rankings up there, but everything for the regular season drops in just a handful of weeks. First weekend of September, actually. But also, beyond the weather, we know from the betting tools that the last 5 years, 6 rookie quarterbacks taken within the first 3 picks have started in the first preseason game. 6 instances. And all of those games went under their total. So not only do we have inclement weather, not only do we have the public jumping on one particular quarterback, we have at least a small trend that suggests this game is going to go under. Not to mention that if you look across who's going to be inactive tonight, the Patriots, at least 4 of their starting offensive linemen are injured, actually. So we don't think they're going to play. And on the other side of the ball, the Texans have 2 major injuries, Titus Howard included, and so we don't think their starters are going to play. And so if that's the case, we also think that the Patriots and Texans will not put their quarterbacks in harm's way for a long period of time. Thus, we think we're going to get more backups. So I will not only be overweight tonight's slate, I will be overweight and showdown for a 2-game slate because I really think this Patriots-Texans one is not only going under, but I think it's a great one to get kickers and defenses stuffed in there. So the leverage for tonight, since we only have a little bit of time, I believe the leverage for tonight is playing the Patriots defense since everyone else is going to play CJ Stroud. What I'm waiting for, the key news, and we'll see who's active and inactive, because it doesn't sound like Bailey Zappi is going to play that much, honestly. It doesn't even sound like he's going to get a quarter. So I'm waiting to see that news. But if that's the case, then I think we are looking to Malik Cunningham tonight. Cunningham, of course, a rushing quarterback at Louisville, multifaceted, dual threat. And if he's going to play even over a quarter, I think we can go back to that idea as we did with Chris Streveler last week, except Streveler got basically less than a quarter and ultimately didn't get there since they were just handing the ball off to Demario Crockett in the last 15 minutes instead. So that's what I'm looking at tonight. I'm excited to watch CJ Stroud play. But for everyone else, I really don't think we're going to get much given all of the trends I just said. Also, before we leave that game really quickly, Demario Douglas is legitimately competing for the Patriots' 11 personnel. Like, he is legitimately ahead of Tyquan Thornton whenever the team goes to 3 wide sets. He played 87% of his career career routes out of the slot. And so if the Patriots go to 11 personnel, tonight what I'll be looking for, if we even see Juju and Devontae, we probably won't. But do we think Juju will be on the slot? Because if so, that's Kendrick Bourne or Tyquan Thornton on the outside. I think right now it's Kendrick Bourne, actually. If they keep Juju on the boundary, then Demario Douglas is the starter, and that's a great dynasty pickup. So that's what we're looking for tonight as well. Also, Matty Wood, I'm still having coffee. And so, no, Matty Greenwood is the one who joined me in Ragnar. Matty Wood, of course, is one of the best high-stakes MLB and NFL players in our lifetime on Earth right now. Friends with Vlad Settler and Nelson Souza, also great high-stakes players. So, confused by Matty Woods for a second there. There are 2 of you, actually. Okay, and then finally, the second game is where we are going to keep up with news. And again, if you use that promo code, I'm going to be in the Discord tonight telling you about the inactives and which positions at both games, the next one and only other one being Vikings at Seahawks. I'm going to tell you like the thinnest depth chart positions I'm watching tonight for us in the Discord. But what's exciting is that I don't know who's going to play for the Vikings. But one, I think they'll be thin at tight end. More importantly, they have a quarterback, Jaron Hall, who was a much more dual threat mobile option than CJ Stroud was at Ohio State. We got a couple games from CJ Stroud. We got 6 carries against Northwestern. We got double-digit carries in the playoff game that Ohio State lost by a field goal. But Jaron Hall was actually a rushing quarterback and did have day 2 grades from a couple of NFL teams I know for a fact. He went to day 3. He's the Vikings' 3rd string now. But if we're going to get him for over a quarter as well, Jaron Hall seems like the edge here. So that's a player I'm watching. We are for sure seeing how thin the Vikings are at their depth chart with Jalen Naylor, since he was the one tearing up camp earlier. And then we are also looking at on the other side of the ball for the Seahawks. Given that Kenneth Walker is injured still, hasn't returned since Pete Carroll said he's taking it slow with him, I don't think we're going to see a bunch of Zach Charbonnet. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of their backup running backs. And so I will definitely be watching for DJ Dallas playing time as well. Yeah, instead of Jalen Rager, we are looking at Jalen Naylor. Do not confuse the two instead. I think we're looking at DJ Dallas. So something to keep in mind. But either way, I do think we're getting Jackson Smith and Jigba. And even if we get JSN for a couple drives on this slate, trust me, I've pieced together so many lineups. I think we are looking for a flex option. I think is hard to come by tonight. And I know for preseason slates, we want to roster running backs as our flex options. I still think the edge may be a JSN or a wide receiver if we get some confident news on playing time. And that's what we're waiting for, historical anomalies, is really for that playing time. Because if the Vikings only have 2 quarterbacks playing, Jaron Hall as a rushing quarterback is definitely my favorite play on the slate. Drew Lock is a reason for us to roster the Vikings defense, even though I want that leverage tonight. And I think the leverage would be the Patriots defense. And playing time is what we're waiting for. For the Vikings, I think we do see nearly as much run for Dwayne McBride that we saw for Izzy Abanikanda. I think we may see a lot of Dwayne McBride tonight, since the coaches has even said nothing negative about him, but they've said that what they're worried about most is just a rookie getting up to speed with the playbook. Because remember, throughout camp last year, there were reports about Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, and them just being behind on the playbook because Kevin O'Connell's coming from the Rams. Kevin O'Connell's playbook is quite complicated. It's base 11 personnel. It's base 3 wide sets, but you still have to know everything about what to do in those 3 wide sets, since the whole point of the formation is to mask everything else by constantly, like the Rams, mask everything by constantly having 3 wide receivers in the field and making everyone think your only goal is to pass. And so there's just a lot to learn with it. But I think because of that, we may get a lot of Dwayne McBride. And remember, I don't have playing time yet. We're going to look at depth charts. I will be in the Discord this evening for us. But remember, Dwayne McBride is awesome. Dwayne McBride faced not only the highest rate of 8-man boxes of any running back in the nation last year, but also the highest rate of 8-man boxes over the last 3 years for his career. And yet, last year, still led the nation in carries of 10-plus yards. And led this class, despite playing the highest rate, he led this class in yards per attempt, yards per carry, despite that highest rate of 8-man boxes for his career. So everyone was excited to see Abanikanda's speed, and we saw it because he escaped the defense around the edge. That's how he scored that touchdown inside the 10-yard line. He literally just came around the tackle, put on the burners, boom, was gone, scored, killed my lineups because I didn't play him. And it was only the touchdown that killed me. Maybe that's an excuse, but I didn't play him. But I like Dwayne McBride, Jack. I really do. I think Dwayne McBride is one of the most explosive backs in this class. And so I am excited to see him. And then, of course, we probably end it with Abram Smith. Again, we will look at the depth chart because it may be a night where we play both Dwayne McBride and Abram Smith. With that being said, again, I have to hit the road for the expo. Just wanted to get in a quick 10 minutes, tell everyone hi, and then get out of your way and set it up to be in the Discord at 4 tonight. So, team previews for every game, for every team playing tonight. The Seahawks and Texans will come out this morning and this afternoon. You will see them on the site for everyone. Vikings and Patriots already on the site if you want to check that out. I wrote about the Dolphins offense yesterday. You can go check that out. And then also for everyone tomorrow, if you do use the promo code YouTube, tomorrow it is exploiting the default rankings on Yahoo and Sleeper. So if you have a draft this upcoming weekend, next weekend on Yahoo or Sleeper, I will have those players that should be ahead of or behind ADP ready for you. That way you can look at that article and just see, ADP is wrong on this site. I can jump in this format at my draft and take these players knowing that they should be higher. So we have that coming out. It is busy. I got to hit the road, but we will be back next Tuesday for the Sirius XM live draft. I think we're going to go an hour earlier next week because they moved the draft on me. Jeff Ratcliffe will be announcing it on Sirius XM at 9 a.m. Eastern. And so I'm going to start the show next week, Tuesday, at 8 a.m. Eastern, Superflex Leagues, with a bunch of industry people. That way we can treat it as a mock together, even though it is a real league. So that's what we're going to do next week. I got to hit the road now. Appreciate you sticking around for this quickie. And remember, Good luck tonight. And then remember, be a little bit kinder than what's required. We'll see you next time.